What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we're here with yet another free agency rebuild, but mainly this one is focused on one position in general, and of course that is the quarterback, as the New York Jets signed Justin Fields in free agency. They also did a few other things, of course, but mainly this video is going to be about Justin Fields. Regardless of what happens today, no matter what, throughout this rebuild, Justin Fields has to be my starter with the Jets. We cannot replace him. We can't draft anybody. Justin Fields locked in for the rest of this video. Let's see if we can win a Super Bowl with Justin Fields as a quarterback for the New York Jets. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me 85% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall in the 85%, want to change that as we're on the road to 10,000 subs. That would be greatly appreciated. So of course, let's talk about what the Jets have done. And then also, I wanted to do Broncos today too, but was kind of waiting to see if they might sign Cooper Kupp. I still think that's a possibility because they have not addressed the wide receiver spot like I thought they probably would this offseason thus far. But we'll see. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's kind of why I'm avoiding the Broncos for now because they've had a great offseason too. But besides the Broncos, let's talk about what the Jets have done. So let's take a look, of course. Of course, they cut Devontae Adams, which we went ahead and did in this file. But they brought in Josh Myers from the Green Bay Packers in free agency. And then on the defensive side of the football, they've re-signed Jamin Sherwood. They added Andre Sisco and Brandon Stevens. So basically, think that's basic. And then they re-signed like another safety, like Isaiah Oliver, I believe. And I don't think I'm forgetting about anybody else at the moment. Then we'll take a look at the rest. And I'm pretty sure that's about it for now. Obviously, we don't have Aaron Rodgers under center at quarterback right now. Let's take a look at what else they've done because there's a couple other signings we have pending in free agency too. And of course, the main one, the highlight of today's video, is Justin Fields, and then they also sign a core of 4. So Justin Fields obviously is going to be the quarterback for the Jets. We're going to try to make him a stud in today's video. That is the goal. He's reunited with his old college teammate and Garrett Wilson. So let's go ahead and submit these offers and have Justin Fields sign that contract. So those two are done. So now we can actually take a deep dive on what we truly need after, everything is all said and done. So we have $89 million in cap space left remaining, but here's what it's looking like. So, whoops, did not mean to click Justin Fields, but obviously, he'll be the guy for us today. So we have Justin Fields under center with Allen Lazard, who I believe was given permission to seek a trade. I'm not really sure if that's going to materialize, obviously. But Fields, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Fashanu, Simpson, Tidman, Vera Tucker, and then Warren. We have Jeremy Ruckert. So quite a few things we need to address on the offense side of the football. Obviously, Aaron Glenn is a brand new head coach in New York. And then you have Cisco. You have Brandon Stevens. We don't have a strong safety right now at all. So maybe we can move Cisco over there and start Isaiah Oliver. We have Gardner. We have Michael Carter after DJ Reed has left. And we could maybe use a little bit of depth at the D tackle spot as well. So yeah, quite a few things we really need to address. So usually, and then Mosley, I forgot about him. He also got released, but I can't do anything about it right now because he's actually hurt. So we have to release him when he's healthy because he's no longer in the Jets either. And I don't know if there's anybody else that was released, but to my knowledge, that is what it is right now as I'm recording this. I believe the last thing that has happened as I'm recording this, by the way, I actually don't even really know. I'm recording this early in the morning. So last night, I guess, yeah, I don't remember, but those are, as I'm recording this is the only thing the Jets have done basically. But let's get into free agency because I think we need to do a little bit more because there is not enough here that we could just get to the draft. So let's see if we can kind of smooth some edges around because we definitely need some help here in a number of different places. So we're not doing anything too crazy for the rest of these free agency signings. I'm simply just trying to get guys that can start there for now. And then obviously as we go throughout the video, we can, replace them with better players. So we have Conklin, Nicholas Morrow, and Chuck Clark are all 3 guys I'm trying to bring in just to be, like I said, stop fillers or whatever. So Chuck Clark signs. It looks like we did not get, we unfortunately did not land Conklin back. So tight end becomes kind of a problem too, and the rest of the tight end landscape in free agency is not great. So I'm not really sure we'll do anything there. There's some like young guys we could take a shot on, like I guess Parham, who's really tall, is here. So I'm gonna give Donald Parham a contract. Why not? So he could maybe start right away, but this man is huge. I know that. Pause. And then let's take a look to see if I guess Nicholas Morrow decides to choose us. If he doesn't, it really doesn't hurt my feelings. So I guess we have to wait. We're going to just take this to the draft. If they sign, they sign. If they don't, they don't. No big deal. So I'll see you guys in draft night. We'll see if those guys sign. And then Devontae Adams, I just saw him back to the Raiders, so that's kind of hilarious in this file. But let's go ahead and see what we can do on draft night because we definitely need another wide receiver opposite of Garrett Wilson and maybe even a tight end now as well. So Nicholas Morrow did in fact sign, and we can also go ahead and cut CJ Mosley. I would have kept him, but in real life he was released, so I will obviously rock with what happened in real life. And then Darnold Parham also signed. So going into the draft, we obviously need a right tackle upgrade in the worst way possible. We need another wide receiver, tight end, but if I have to rock with Donald Parham this year, I guess I'll do it. Defensively, we added Morrow, who will be a starter at that linebacker spot eventually. I'm not sure he's not starting already, so maybe I guess they're just, I don't know what's going on there, but whatever. So, and then Jermaine Johnson, once he's healthy, this will look a little bit better. We need a D tackle. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see what we can do in this draft as far as all those positions that need filled. So let's see what we can do in this first offseason. I don't think we're gonna be able to address everything in one offseason, but eventually it would all be taken care of. So picking number 7 should be extremely helpful. So we got Cam Ward, Abdul Carter Shador, Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, and Jalen Walker going off the board. So a lot of different ways we can go about this. We could add Mason Graham right now, and to me, this is too good to pass up. I could take Ted McMillan as well, but Mason Graham adding here at number 7 to put him opposite of Quinnen Williams, I just can't pass this up. Mason Graham got him in the Raiders video, and he was a stud. So we're going to take him in this Jets video too, and he's going to be an absolute force to be reckoned with at that D tackle 2 spot. Building the trenches, obviously super important. So I love that first pick for us. Now we can go to early second round and see what we can do here. So we don't need a D tackle anymore. That is 100% taken care of. We have Gene T, who should never be here, but he always falls here for whatever reason. Could take another pass rusher, but I also don't hate the idea of Benjamin Morrison, or we could take Trey Harris, or we could take a corner. I mean, a lot of different ways you can go about this right now, or we could take care of our tackle problem right now. And to me, I think we do need to get Justin Fields a tackle really badly. So I am going to go and take Josh Conley Jr. here with this selection. 75 true value, drafted 39, but he's going to be hidden dev and is 100% going to start at that tackle position. So far, first 2 picks are in the trenches. I would love to draft a wide receiver 3 here in round 3 if possible. Or sorry, wide receiver 2 rather. And a tight end wouldn't have been horrible either. So let's see what we got here for wide receiver options. We have Restrepo. Don't hate the idea of. We have Horton and Jack Beck. We also have Jamari Harris, Darion Porter, Marshall. Okay, let's go see what our other wide receivers options are here really quickly. So Restrepo, Jaden Higgins is here too. Tez Johnson, Taj Felton, and Jordan Beck. I do think I'm going to take Restrepo just because I've taken Higgins quite a bit. So Restrepo will be kind of a different look, and I know he's a solid wide receiver. It's going to be really, it's going to be an easy weapon for Fields to target. So 80 true value, draft 92, and that will be our offseason. So let my assistant GM take care of the rest. We'll go take a look at the lineup for year 1. But obviously the main goal is here to make Justin Fields a starter in today's NFL. So let's go take a look at the lineup for year number 1. And also we need to discuss what playbook we should potentially run with Justin Fields, because I don't know if we should just rock with the same one that we currently have right now. So this is what we have going on. Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Lazard, Garrett Wilson, Restrepo as your wide receivers. Definitely needs to be addressed a little bit further, but for now, this is going to have to work. We have Rucker, Barham. Looks like they drafted his Jake Briningstool as well, which actually wouldn't mind just throwing him in the fold right now since he's the youngest one here. So yeah, and then Restrepo is, slot wide receiver. He is, so he should be really good in there in that role. Defensively, Mason Graham and Quinnen Williams is going to be absolutely amazing. Jermaine Johnson still is not healthy at this point. Steven Sauce Gardner, and we got another young corner, Chuck Clark. It looks like we have this guy starting, which I guess is fine. Maybe Morrow is a middle linebacker, which is why he's never been moved. Oh yeah, duh. That's why I never moved. So I'm gonna move him to left outside, and then he'll be a starter there, and we'll simulate year number 1, and we'll have to see how this goes. Now, I do want to take a look at potential playbook changes because I really want Justin Fields to succeed. So if we're gonna make that happen, we got to try in year 1 to make that happen. So we're gonna change this to vertical zone run. We'll leave that the way it is. So offensive playbook needs to be what is the question? I could run Philly's playbook. Obviously, that's pretty easy cop out answer. But we could run? I don't know about Lamar. I don't know about the Ravens playbook. Mike Tomlin, no. D'Amico Ryans could be interesting. The Texans playbook, I don't really run that often. Could even do Minnesota's, which is interesting. I don't hate the idea of that. San Francisco's, I feel like isn't as good as it should be. Jonathan Gannon. I mean, this one, I don't know about Arizona's playbook. Chargers, Chiefs, and then there's Shane Steichen's, and then there's Dallas's. I think I'm gonna rock with I still don't know what I'm gonna rock with. I thought I was gonna make a decision. I'm gonna try Houston's playbook, I guess, and see how that goes. We'll give this opportunity for Justin Fields to run a different playbook, and hopefully that makes him better this year. I believe our defense is going to be incredible, but we'll see how our offense does. Hopefully Justin Fields is really good, fingers crossed. Obviously, like I said, no matter what happens, he has to start throughout the video. So we'll see if he can eventually turn into a star dev quarterback or something like that, which would be awesome. We'll have to see how it goes. It's going to be tough, but I'm willing to accept this challenge. So at the end of year 2, while we were not completely awful, we weren't in the playoffs either. 8-9, I guess, is a step up from our previous record, but we'll have to kind of see how things went. So did we have a leader, Javian Sherwood, who continues to be really good, which I understand why the Jets re-signed him, and I've noticed he's been really good in the Madden sim as well. Puka Nacua with a new number, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown did really good, but nothing to see from the Jets side of things other than Javian Sherwood. Offensively, we're 26th in the NFL, so that's not great, and then defensively, we were 19th in the NFL. So we had 23 and 19 from Justin Fields, okay. 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards from Breece Hall, 800 from Garrett Wilson, 800 from Lazard, 700 from Britting Stool, and 600 from Restrepo, and 300 from Breece Hall. I think one thing that'll be super helpful, obviously, and as I mentioned, Mason Graham and Quentin Williams were awesome together, which is awesome. But one thing that I think will be super helpful to Justin Fields is getting him more weapons, obviously. We didn't have the best weaponry for him. Garrett Wilson's great, but outside of that, we didn't have a whole lot going on there. So Breece Hall is a weapon I don't want to walk out the door for, Justin Fields. So 25 years old, keep him. And then Vera Tucker, same thing. We need to protect quarterback. So yes, sign me up for Vera Tucker coming back. Quincy Williams, and then Will McDonald, Chuck Clark. So Chuck Clark can go. Simpson, I'll probably try to keep, so we don't have to worry about the left guard spot. But I'm hoping, or he's not interested, whatever. That's fine. Kick rocks then, buddy. Josh Myers, the free agent, which we won't worry about him. So the only other two, I guess, would be McDonald and Quincy Williams if I wanted to bring or Will McDonald's is a 5th-year option, which I'll accept. And then Quincy Williams, I'm going to go ahead and try to bring back too if possible. The starting linebacker for us. We'll see if he accepts this, and he does not. Franchise tagging would cost us $24 million, which I just can't get behind. So we'll let them walk out the door. We'll head into free agency. My main part of this offseason is getting another legit wide receiver and a legit tight end. That is going to be our #1 priority for me anyway. A wide receiver and a tight end for Justin Fields, because that would be super helpful to his development, obviously. We need a left guard too as well, but everything else looks really good, which is awesome. Restrepo's been good, but I prefer if he stayed in the slot, obviously. Kyle McCord's our backup, and then Braylon Allen. Yeah, so this looks good. Again, left guard, wide receiver, and then, and the tight end. That's all we need on the offense. Defensively, might be a whole different story. So Sherwood, superstar dev, which is awesome. So same thing with Graham. We do need a corner and a strong safety and linebackers. So we'll have to take a look into that. So let's go see if any of that is able to be addressed in free agency. So a damn good free agency class, as we're going after a couple of different options here. Kirby Joseph, who of course used to play for the Lions, which Aaron Glenn used to coach him. Same thing with Rodriguez. So to me, there's already a connection there. And that actually feels somewhat realistic, where Kirby Joseph could, go to go to New York. Not saying that the Lions would let Kirby Joseph walk, but if he for some reason couldn't come to a contract agreement with them, then that could make sense. We're also going after Deron Bland to get Aaron Glenn another weapon in the secondary. So most of this is on offense or defense so far, but we can't pass up the talent that we're seeing right now on defense. And Kyle Pitts obviously be the tight end addition. So fingers crossed, we get all 4 of them to sign, because that'd be a great start in this offseason, and all 4 of them do sign. So Kirby Joseph, Deron Bland, Kyle Pitts, Malcolm Rodriguez. Really can't get much better than that. We didn't get a wide receiver option just yet, but maybe that comes through a trade. But yeah, we don't get our left guard yet either, but that could be addressed in the draft. So Kyle Pitts going to be a huge upgrade at the tight end spot. So still need a wide receiver and a left guard. But defensively, we obviously added a free safety in Kirby Joseph, who, like I said, once upon a time played for Aaron Glenn. So it makes a ton of sense there. Deron Bland is going to be a dog opposite of Sauce Gardner. Then you have Brandon Stevens still. So yeah, really exciting stuff. Cisco becomes our starting safety on the other side. And then we need to get another linebacker here. So still a few things to address, but I think one thing I want to do is try to address one of the positions maybe through a trade. I don't know if we have enough money to do anything else. I don't even know if there's really much of anything else I want to go for. Anzalone was here too, who also played in Detroit, which would have been interesting. But can we address a guard here? Could bring Simpson back, but or Samalu or something like that. So not bad options here. Zeitler, Hernandez, Will Fries, who obviously signed a long-term deal with the Vikings, so shouldn't even be here. Galen Moore, who got a bag in free agency. Braden Smith's here. There actually is some interesting options here if we wanted to try to free up more money. So maybe we do that, and then in the draft, we can draft our wide receiver, or we could get aggressive and trade for it as well. because I would love to have a really good player at wide receiver if possible. We do have to keep in mind, though, that we have to pay a couple guys next year, such as Sauce Gardner. So I don't know if we should go too crazy there. So we could cut Allen Lazard, though. To me, that's a no-brainer. Let's cut Allen Lazard. No need to keep him any further because we're going to get another wide receiver here regardless. And then we can also probably cut Michael Carter because Brandon Stevens is cheaper. And, well, I'll leave him for now. But let's go see maybe if there's anything we can do in free agency to address one more position with this $13 million in cap space. So it looks like we did make 2 more signings in free agency, which fills a couple gaps. So now we can kind of worry about wide receiver. So we got Laken Thompson to be our left guard for now. It was only a 1-year deal. And then on offensively, we added Alex Anzalone, who is also a former Detroit Lion. So another connection with Aaron Glenn, which is why we did that. So 2 Lions linebackers been added. And yeah, so defense to me almost looks complete. I think I can rock with this defense next year and be just fine with it. I want to move Andre Cisco also to strong safety because he's obviously listed at free safety right now. But with Kirby Joseph coming in, obviously that means you got to move Andre Cisco to strong safety. And then next offseason, we'll have to re-sign, obviously, Justin Fields, who I believe will be a free agent next year too. We'll have to re-sign Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. So things will get expensive next year. It's not going to be easy. So this year would be really important to have some success. We have no money to make any trades. So let's just jump into the draft. We'll have to draft a wide receiver 1 in the draft. Wide receiver 2 because Garrett Wilson's our 1. We're picking 16. And to me, obviously, no brainer. Wide receiver has to be our first option here if there's a good one. So Harbor goes off the board. We have Lenore Sellers. So we could take, or we don't need a quarterback. I don't know why I thought that said left guard for a second. We have Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. So another Ohio State alumni guy. So kind of like the idea of it. But let's see what our other options are before we just jump on that option. For Carnell Tate, we have Jonte Cook out of Washington, DeAndre Moore, Zachariah Branch, and then Chris Brazzle. So I don't know much about... I've heard of Carnell Tate. I have not heard of Jonte Cook. But A release, B deep route. Speed is great. Jumping is elite. So that already looks pretty solid. So maybe we take those over Carnell Tate. And then DeAndre Moore. B release, A catch in traffic. Speed is good. I think I might rock with Jonte Cook. I'm actually kind of like the idea of that. Let's look at the Tennessee guy as well. A deep route, B catch and B catch traffic. A release. Speed is good. Strength is elite. I think I'm going to go with Jonte Cook. Hopefully that works out. Round 1 or 2 projection, deep threat, gives Justin Fields another weapon. C catching, but speed great, jumping elite, strength great. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that ended up being a good pick for us. 64 in true value, drafted at 16, 93 speed. So maybe Carnell Tate would have been the right pick, but all in all, going to be our brand new wide receiver. And this wasn't a great wide receiver class, it seemed like, to begin with. So this wasn't the offseason need a wide receiver. Like, Khalil Shakir was sitting in free agency technically, but he signed a real extension in real life. That's why I didn't go for him. So Branch is here too, so we could double down, but I'm not going to do that. Drew Aller, and then we could probably go ahead and worry about our left guard of the future behind Laken Thompson develop. So this guy doesn't look very good though. So what else do we have? So, I mean, he was the top of the board. Maybe we still take him. Right tackle, we could take Riley here and maybe move him inside. Impact blocking. Speed is good. So I guess we'll take him instead of the other guys. So 80 true value, drafted 48. So it looks like we're reaching quite a bit for some of these picks. But they're all going to be serviceable starters going forward, obviously. And then we don't even have a round 3. So I will see you guys with the lineup for year number 2. So here's what the lineup is looking like for year number 2 with Justin Fields still under center. So he will be he needs extended, and it looks like we drafted some more O-line depth, which is great. So but he will eventually step in and probably start at left guard here. Eventually, we could probably even start him right away, low key, if we wanted to. But yeah, let's move him to left guard right now because that's eventually what he's going to take over with anyway. So if he ends up being better than Laken Tomlinson, that's a good thing because then he can just develop immediately. So let's move him to left guard and see if he's better than Laken Tomlinson. If not, whatever, he can sit on the bench for a year. That's fine too. So same overall. So I guess we could put him in and let him develop there. So Laken Tomlinson's just depth. Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Brandon Allen, Jonte Cook, Restrepo, and Garrett Wilson. Offensively, and then obviously Kyle Pitts was added too. We have Otis as D tackle depth, which is nice. Mason Graham, Quentin Williams, Jermaine Johnson, Sauce Gardner, Kirby Joseph. Expecting our defense to be damn good. Offensively, I'm hoping is better, but we'll see how it goes. So do I rock with a different playbook this time? I think I might. Minnesota's playbook like served me really well yesterday in Vikings video. So maybe we can catch that magic here too. We'll see. So I'm gonna rock with Minnesota's playbook this year. See how it goes. Kyle Pitts also added to the team as well. Don't want to ignore that. So let's go ahead, somewhere to the end of year 2, and hopefully we can make the playoffs, but we shall see. So at the end of the season, we actually have a much better record at 10-7, but it looks like we missed the playoffs. Damn, that's devastating. We did. Wow, we finished as a 9th seed at 10-7. Look how many teams were good. So that actually sucks because 10-7 usually would mean, hey, you're probably in. But it looks like we may have found the playbook for this team. Now, I don't know if our offense was good or if our defense was good. We'll have to see. So no leaders in top 3 across the board from anything that we can see right now. Let's take a look at the stats. So offensively, not good still. 31st in the NFL. But Justin Fields, I guess, in defense, I don't know how we were so good then. Well, I mean, 31-10. Sure, that's better than what we've seen. Brees Hall, 7 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, 400 rushing yards from Justin Fields. Restrepo, Garrett Wilson, Malachi Corley. I guess Jonte Cook didn't even really play for us, which was kind of annoying, but whatever. Sacks-wise, Graham and Quinn Williams continue to be studs there, obviously, and then interceptions. Gardner, Anzalone had 3, 2 from Sherwood, 2 from Cisco, 2 from Stevens, 2 from Bland, and 1 from Malcolm Rodriguez. So, whole another offseason to get into, but damn, that sucks, man. I would have loved to have seen Justin Fields play in the playoffs, but unfortunately did not go that way, and we'll have to see what we can do in the offseason. I have a weird feeling that it's going to be really hard to keep everybody, but we'll see if our cap space is big or not. Okay, so we have $82 million in cap space, which is pretty good. Not, you know, it could be worse. And I do know Fields has to be re-signed because we have to keep him throughout the video. Gardner, I knew was going to be re-signed. Garrett Wilson going to be re-signed. Rashanu is a 50-year option. Tippmann, Jermaine Johnson, Cisco, Brandon Stevens, Fields. So yeah, there's a lot of different options here. Now, of course, let's start with the first 3. So we have to keep Sauce Gardner. No brainer there. So let's get him back, of course. So yeah, Sauce Gardner will be brought back. Same thing with Garrett Wilson. I want to keep him around too, obviously. So Garrett Wilson wants to play for a new team. Franchise tagging would cost us $37.5 million. I don't know if I can get there. It'd be really tough to re-sign anybody else. Well, except for Shauna's 5th-year option. And then we have to re-sign Fields. So Fields is not even interested in playing here further either. But we'll see what he says. And wants to play for a new team next year. So franchise tagging Fields would obviously cost way too much money. We're not doing that. So we're probably gonna have to let some of these guys just walk in free agency, and we'll have to evaluate what we can do after that. And then we might even be able to look at maybe some salary cuts or restructuring of contracts because we're probably gonna go all in on this year 3. So let's see. We could cut Quinton Williams, which we won't do. Michael Carter, probably have to cut him this year, save a little bit of money because we got a lot of guys re-signed. So Carter will be cut. Probably gonna have to address the 3rd corner problem now too, though. Corley only saved us $1 million. So now we can kind of look at restructuring contracts. So $7 million freed up there, $8 million freed up there, $2 million. So not a whole lot of options to, I guess, save money unless that there's Sauce Gardner, $7 million, $8 million. Yeah, no. And then $6 million. So maybe we could cut or we could do a bunch of things and save money that way. But it doesn't there's no big cut where we can make just a ton of cap space opened up. So we're going to have to let Garrett Wilson and Fields test free agency, which is really annoying. And hopefully we can bring them all back. But we'll have to see, man. So Garrett Wilson, I do want to keep. He has 4 offers. And then hopefully Fields doesn't have any good. Yeah, he has no offer. So this should be easy to keep Fields then. We'll go neutral and give him a little bit of a contract there. So Fields will stick around. Hopefully, we'll have to see. Garrett Wilson obviously is my #1 priority to bring back. Losing him would be really tough on everything here. And we're not going to have any money after this. So we may not get him back, though, guys. It's a realistic possibility that we lose Garrett Wilson right now, which would really hurt the video's chances of making the Super Bowl next year. But if that's what has to happen, that will happen. So let's just focus on getting these 2 back. Fingers crossed Garrett Wilson comes back, but I have a bad feeling he's not. Oh, he did. Wow. So that was scary because if we would have lost him, that would have been really tough to come back from. But Garrett Wilson sticks around. Same with Fields. So the video is saved, I guess. But now we have some other problems to address because we know we lost a few other options in free agency. So Jonte Cook, Garrett Wilson, Restrepo, Kyle Pitts. So honestly, this is going to have to be what our center is. We know Tippmann left in free agency, but there's really no way for us to address it. And then defensively, I knew this is where we kind of had some issues. So I guess we have Otis ready to step up there. Graham is superstar X Factor now. We need a strong safety, and we need another linebacker here too. So strong safety and a linebacker is kind of what we truly need on this team. Our 3rd corner is going to have to be Harris, Jay Harris, whoever that is. And then offensively, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to address anything on offense, unfortunately. So defensively, we're going to have to get a linebacker and a strong safety. Let's see if we can QB news for the Steelers. Wait a minute. What does this say? We wait to see some other QB news in Pittsburgh. Mason Rudolph has agreed. Okay, really? Ian Rappaport, you clickbaited the hell out of that. I thought that was about to be like something big, but Mason Rudolph is back in Pittsburgh. I can't imagine he'll be the starter, obviously. We could have brought Brian Branch in, too, if he had the money. Do another, full reunion of the Lions safety duo in New York here. But Cisco would be our best option if we even have the money. We don't even have the money for this, so Cisco will not be added, actually. So let's just try for a linebacker then instead. So let's see. We have Bryce Huff. We need a... we have Blake Cashman or Robert Spillane, or we could go Landman. Give me Cashman, maybe. Nope, don't have enough money for that either. All right. Derek Hall, who is a scheme fit, I guess. Don't have money for him, though. Dorian Williams. We have money for Dorian Williams? No. So we have no money. So let's just, I guess, address the rest of this through the draft. We can get Alan Anzalone back, who I guess is fine to bring back for another year. But outside of that, obviously not a whole lot else. So let's jump in the draft and let's address everything else through the draft. So a strong safety will be needed. And then I believe probably another linebacker too. So we'll see. Maybe even a center. All right, so we get to pick at number 17 in this draft, where I will more than likely be going strong safety if possible here. So let's see if we have a good safety on the board for us to take. We have DeMarcus Jenkins, hybrid strong safety out of Louisville. B awareness, already like the idea of that. B man coverage, B zone, B to D tackle, top fits, jet, speed, great to me. No brainer, I'm going to take him. So he's going to be immediately our starter on day one, and he was a good pick. Hidden dev, so that's what we wanted. So we'll absolutely take that and run with that. And now let's get some youth in this linebacker room if possible in round 2 if there is a good one to take. So let's go see what we got here now. So we have a running back who we don't really need. Could have taken a strong safety, I guess, here in round 2. We have McLean, who's a speed rusher, but is he good at covering? No, F zone, and then D-man. So no thank you. That is not what we're looking for. So no thank you on that. More of a pass rusher, which actually wouldn't be a bad thing to bring in. John Norris, or you could go McGowan out of Tennessee. B zone, B tackle, B block shedding. Speed is elite. Okay, I like that. So we're going to take Daniel McGowan here, who might be a starter immediately for us. So 26 true value. Only normal dev, but will probably be a good player right away still to this point. So that's good. And now for round 3 to end this off with our final move of this offseason. We got pick 81 in the 3rd round. So we got Belton, Norris, Zaytap, Bozeman, Wilvin, Beeren, McLean. I actually wouldn't mind taking McLean here. He actually could probably be a good pass rusher. Obviously, we're not going to start him at linebacker, but I'm going to put him down in the end spot. We lost some depth there anyway. So normal dev, probably won't be a starter, but he will be depth at least. So I will see you guys for the lineup for year 3. 10-7 last year. Hopefully this time we can maybe go 10-7 again. 11-6, but this time make the playoffs. So here is a lineup going into year number 3, as I'm going to leave the playbooks completely alone after a 10-7 last year. So we're vertical zone run, 76% fit. Here's the offense, and then here is the defense. So defensively, Anzalone, and then McGowan, who is depth here. Jenkins, who is starting right away. And then obviously our men in the middle are awesome. Gardner, Deron Bland. That all looks really good. I mean, maybe we could even change the scheme on the defense. Maybe this will be better if we change this, because they haven't been like a great defense so far. But we'll take it. So we'll see how that goes. And then last but not least, I want to see who is our slot wide receiver, because last year it was Malachi Corley, which I don't know. I don't want that to be the case. I want Jonte Cook to play. So we'll go ahead, simulate this season with the expectations of finally, hopefully making the playoffs, but we shall see. So at the end of year number 3, it has finally been done. We made the postseason at 11-6. So Justin Fields leads us to the playoffs, but will he lead us further than that? As Breece Hall led the league in rushing yards, which is great, because I think that's going to be the formula for us to win games, is running the ball and defense. I'm assuming our defense was good. Offensively, we still just aren't good, although, I mean, Fields threw 38 touchdowns, so we'll take that. Defensively, finally top 15, 11th NFL, almost top 10. So 38-6. I mean, Fields has been throwing the ball around. Even though our offense hasn't been, like, ranked well, he's up to an 80 overall, so I will absolutely take that compared to what it could be. So we'll take that. And then rushing, we also saw Breece Hall was great. 9 touchdowns, 1,400 yards. We have Garrett Wilson with 10 touchdowns and Jonte Cook with 16. Restrepo with 5. So does Cook go up to like superstar dev after that? Because 85 overall though. So that's what we wanted to see last year. And we get it this year, so we made sure Malachi Corley didn't take that spot again. Sacks-wise, 12.5 for Mason Graham and 9.5 for Quentin Williams and then 4.5 for Will McDonald. But obviously, none of this matters if we can't win a playoff game. So we'll have to see if we can go win that. So we get to play our fellow division rival, the Buffalo Bills. So we'll see how this goes. So Josh Allen and the Bills come into MetLife Stadium as Justin Fields prepares for this would be his first playoff game, wouldn't it be? I mean, I know he obviously was on the bench for the Steelers, but he didn't start. So let's see if we can come out here, and they start off 7-0, and we do not score on our first drive, but we will on our second drive. Missed the extra point, though. Defense is getting stops, which is great. Can we capitalize and take the lead? No. So 26 seconds left in the second quarter. Let me see if I can come out here and steal a touchdown really quickly, potentially. So, we could slip screen them. Yeah, let's get the ball to Breece Hall. We have 2 timeouts. Let's see if they fall for this screen play, and maybe Breece Hall can break this away. Yeah, that's going to go for... it doesn't go for that much. But can I get out of bounds? Yeah, I only gained 8 yards on it, so nothing crazy. But still, we moved the ball, I guess, a little bit. Nothing insane, but we'll take it. I'm hoping to get at least in field goal range, obviously, so 21 seconds left. We're going to throw Garrett Wilson on a go route, and then we're going to see if Garrett Wilson can maybe burn his man downfield. Actually, oh my gosh, the pressure got there, and Buffalo calls a timeout, so it's 3rd and 15. Man, they are bringing some pressure here. So, all right. Well, let's see if we can't make them regret bringing pressure. Maybe somebody can beat somebody downfield if they're going to bring it again. So this time, it looks like they're just playing coverage. I don't really see anything open downfield, and I'm not going to... Yeah, so I still nothing here. So it's going to be 7-6 probably still after half, unless if the Bills, score, which they don't. So we start with football here, and nothing. So can we get something here? Nothing. Nothing so far for either team. Defense keeps getting stops. Can we score here? And we get the ball again with minute 50. Okay, so a minute 50 left in the clock. 1st and 10 at our own 46. So this is really good field position to be in right now. So let's start with just an underneath play to Restrepo, get some yak there, and we can actually play this right to where the Bills never see the ball again. So let's actually just feed Breece Hall as we're getting closer and closer to field goal range. Nice little hole opens up here. So we're in field goal range, and Buffalo's going to start wasting their timeout. So this is already really good because as long as we play our cards right, we get in field goal range. Buffalo wastes all their timeouts, and they will never see the ball again. And we're going to get a first down play on that. The blocks almost didn't look like they were going to be there, but it all worked out in the end. So 1st and 10, minute 26 left on the clock. But again, we're going to win this game probably 7-9 if possible. Needed a block there, and Buffalo wasted their last timeout. So now all we got to do is just keep this ball on the ground, waste all the clock in the world, and we'll kick our game-winning field goal. So let's get to that. Give me some blocks, and that's going to be a really good run. And now will be 1st and 10. Now I'm going to put on shoe clock, so this clock just winds like crazy. So slip screen maybe to throw them off, or we can just let's just keep the ball on the ground because we don't want anything to go wrong here. So 7 seconds left. Let's just run this ball. Oh my goodness, I might be able to take this to the house. Just kidding. We're going to take this down to the 4-yard line, and we'll obviously just kick our field goal. We'll call a timeout with 3 seconds left. So let's just let's just be prepared for the timeout because we all know if we just jump in here, the clock would just be wasted. So I'm not going to click a play because that could be dangerous if we do that. So 20 seconds left, but we want the last play of the game to be this game-winning field goal. So 15, 14. I'm not going to start counting down. That's probably annoying to listen to. Okay, 10 seconds. You guys know what I'm kind of prepared for here, though, obviously. So we'll call a timeout with 3 seconds left. Let's do on 2. Let's do on 2 seconds. So 2 seconds left in the game. We'll kick our game-winning field goal. The Bills do not have any way of icing our kicker either. So this should be a walk-away win, and we're moving on to divisional weekend. And now we head on the road to play the Tennessee Titans on the road, like I said, against Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. So Justin Fields versus Cam Ward. Let's see how this is about to go. This should be interesting. So we start off with football here in Tennessee, and we go up 7-0, and we get a defensive recovery, or a fumble recovery, rather. And we're up 10-0. So 2-possession game out of the gate. So defense made a play. Just need our offense to keep capitalizing. 13-0, but it's still only a 2-possession game. And now the Titans can get back in it here. But we will score again. So 21-7, 21-14. Can we go score here? The Titans will score 21-21. So we can do something similar to what we just did against the Titans here or similar to what we did with the Bills. We'll do that to the Titans here if we play our cards right. So Let's see. Let's start off with a run here. Let's just see how they're, how Brees Hall is doing on the day on the ground. So I'm just going to truck here and we'll get about 8 yards. And he's having a great day on the ground. So we might be able to just, give him the rock every single play here. But we also have some short developing routes that we can maybe rock to. And we still have Fields' legs we can rock with too. So let's just go to Jonte Cook, who has some speed. We're up to the 50 now. I guess it's the 49 to be exact. Let's run the ball here, though. So we want all the clock obviously wiped off here. Blocks are there. 65 holds up. That could have went maybe quite a bit. So now I'm going to go no huddle here. And let's go play action. And let's see if we can get them caught off guard. And maybe we get... I'm actually not going to trust Fields to throw that. So I'm just going to run this upfield. And then... Ooh, that not me to dive forward. But that's fine. So we'll call our first timeout. And now we'll stretch this. I want to see if the Titans start burning their timeouts. But we're in field goal range. We're going to try to do what we did to the Bills here to the Titans. And... not a whole lot there, but I'm assuming Tennessee will call a timeout. They do not. So they're going to ice us. Whoops, I almost clicked the play, which would have been bad. But we'll do the same thing we did earlier. We'll call a timeout, and we'll just kick the game-winning field goal. So that's going to be 2 game winners on field goals if we're able to nail it in. We'll call our second to last timeout. 4 seconds, 3, and 2. Call our timeout. So 2 seconds left. Obviously, the Titans will ice us here. And let's see if they call it. They have not called it yet. They actually did not ice us, which I'm surprised by. But that's going to be it. So we're moving on to the NFC or to the AFC Championship after a game-winning field goal. So 2 game-winning field goals in a row, which has been awesome. But now hopefully we can have a sweat or a less sweat-free win in. Or I guess that's not the right terminology. But you get what I'm saying. Hopefully less stressful in the next one. And now we head on the road to play the Kansas City Chiefs, who have obviously won the AFC for the last several years. So this is going to be tough, but we'll see if we can't come in here and upset the Chiefs as they will go up 7-0. We'll respond with our own touchdown, and then we get a stop on defense. And with great field position, a 10-7 lead for us. And we're up 17-7 interception, 20-7. And now we got to hang on to this lead, and we'll go up 28-7. We went for 2, which is pretty interesting. Are they? Oh, wait a minute. They may not be dead yet. And they get the ball back, but it does not matter. We're going to the Super Bowl. So just like that, we take down the Chiefs 28-21 in the AFC Championship. And now we get to go to the Super Bowl. So it'll be interesting to see what we play there. But I got to keep this in mind that Minnesota's playbook is damn good in Madden. If you didn't know that, which I figured that out now, but Minnesota's playbook might be something we use going forward. What a great way to end this video off in the Super Bowl, as this is actually a very interesting storyline here in the Super Bowl. As you can see, we're playing the Lions. So Aaron Glenn versus his former team in the biggest game of the year. So we'll see how this goes, as they will start off 3-0. So obviously Aaron Glenn probably knows a little bit about Jared Goff. So we'll see if we can't get an advantage on him. So 7-3 start, a field goal by the Lions again. So far we've only allowed field goals. And we will score again, 14-6. We get to double dip here, and we do just that. 17. Okay, it's a close one, though. 14-17, 14-24. The Lions will respond. 2 minutes and 59 seconds left. All we need to do is hang on to this football, and we win the Super Bowl. We have a 3-point lead right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and try to ice this game away. We'll put on true clock. We'll see if we don't let the Lions ever touch the ball again. So Brees Hall, just going to hand the rock off to you a few times and hope for the best. So we're going to get about 4 yards there. That's 3 yards. Not too shabby. We'll take that. We'll stretch this to the left now, and we'll see if we can't get the edge here. Maybe we can even take this to the house if possible. Probably not, but give me a block 0. Oh, my goodness. What? We're going to stay in bounds, though. Nice. Broken tackle, and that's going to take us to another first down. And now we could take this past the 2-minute warning, and this is where the Lions will have to start burning their timeout. So if they can't stop Brees Hall, we're in Miami right now as well. But if they can't stop Brees Hall, this Super Bowl is going to us. So let's see if we can continue to just hand this rock off to Mr. Brees Hall, and he can put this game away for us. So we can even run a read option too. But a nice gaping hole in the middle. First time out use, only a 4-yard gain, but we'll still take it. I'm going to stretch this again because we really got the edge last time. If not, we cut it inside if we don't like what we see on the outside. But I cut this inside. And we almost, ooh, that almost could have been a face mask. 3rd and 3. I will say, this is risky business. Do we play action them? No, I don't know. Do we boot it? Or do we just run it inside and hope that Brees Hall gains 3 yards? I think we just run it inside. Let's not overthink it. Let's just inside zone this and hope Brees Hall gets us 3 yards in 2 plays. All right. 1 first down ends the game. Can we get the 3 yards here? We can, and that is a Super Bowl victory for us. 1st and 10. They'll call that last timeout, but it does not matter at this point. They cannot stop the clock any further. So Justin Fields is going to lead the Jets to a Super Bowl, which is awesome. Now, I know I jumped in to save us a couple times, but it was still fun nonetheless. So 1 minute and 10 left on the clock remaining. Just going to keep kneeling this out. We can watch the Lombardi celebration all together. So 2nd and 11, 3rd and 12. Actually, you know what, guys? Better yet, I'm just going to stop it here, and I'm going to let you guys watch the championship celebration by yourself if you want to stick around for it. Thank you all for watching. Jets get a Super Bowl with Fields. This is Crushables. I'll see you on the next one. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.